Hello, horse racing fans, and welcome to the Sport of Kings, your window into the world of horse racing. Today, we'll celebrate Canada Day with a special Jockeys Roundtable. Our racing across the nation will look at this week's top stakes action. Our race of the week is the CTHS Sales Stakes. A salute to the champions looks at the 1995 Hollywood Gold Cup. And now here he is, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
With today being Canada, we thought what better time here at the Sport of Kings than to sit down with four of the top riders here at Hastings Racecourse who all have one thing in common, and that is they all were born outside of this country. It was an impromptu interview, something we enjoy doing. What we did is we let these four jocks sit down, relax. Once again, no script, and we just let our cameras roll. We think you're going to see why these jocks are proud to call themselves New Canadians.
My name is Anthony Stephen. I'm from Trinidad. I started riding when I was age of 17 back in Trinidad. We have apprentice jockey school where every year there's 4 or 5 jockeys graduate to ride. So every year there's it's really tough for apprentice jockeys because there's races with 8 or 9 apprentices. So you really have to prove yourself to be able to be picked by good trainers to be successful.
Andy,
That's good.
tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name is Anderson Ward and I'm from Barbados. I started riding at age 18. At that time in Barbados it was pretty difficult to start off with. Had all types of top riders there that you obviously had to get through. But other than that, I made it through the toughest part, and now I'm here in Canada.
Pedro, go ahead.
My name is Pedro Alvarado. I'm from Mexico. Same as Anthony, we have a jockey school in Mexico City. I started there when I was 13 at the school, and from there I did it in the school maybe for a year and a half. And then when you're ready to to gallop horses and you know how to do different things, trainer comes and pick you up from the school, and then there's the one that's gonna ride you to start with.
Jake Barton. I grew up in Cedar City, Utah. Unlike these guys, when you grow up in the States, there isn't really a demand for like a jockey school or something like that. Unfortunately, we don't have those luxuries of going and actually learning. Where we learn is you just go to the tracks and you start picking up and learning what you can learn. It's too bad we don't have more jockey schools around the States like that. But there is a lot of racing in the States, so you can pick up pretty quick. I started riding when I was about 15 around Utah, and it's what you'd call bush racing, bush tracks, what you call. There's not any stewards or anything like that.
I went out and got flags. We couldn't get Trinidad. How did you become, what kind of flag is that?
Well, I thought it was India, but apparently it's Ireland. But I got mine here. It's too big.
So you went full blown, huh?
Well, I really don't want to see these other guys, so I can put it out like.
The flag right there represents
Barbados. Actually, it represents more than Barbados. It represents our freedom because our country got independent in 1966, and it's going on over 40 years that we've got away from the British. So it's a good thing, and this signifies that we're all free.
I thought it signified you were all devils with that pitchfork on there.
It did look like a pitchfork.
That's what it looks like, a pitchfork. You guys are all devils or something.
Andy, what about you? How much did you get paid when you started? Or did you get paid?
Well, I did get paid more than he did. I don't know for what reason, but at that time we got paid like 40 US for a mount, and it was kind of big in those times to got that kind of money at the kind of age that we were at. And from there to now it still remains the same, but we did got paid, and it was pretty decent, to be honest.
Anthony.
Back home it's about 55 of my money, which is about 15 Canadian dollars, and it's still the same up to now.
Pedro, safe to say you probably got paid the less? police?
No, it was a good money in that time.
They paid him in burritos.
No, we got a little chicken for riding the horse. The winner, you got a little pack.
This is Canada Day. We're celebrating Canada weekend here. What brought you guys all here? You know, Anthony, what brought you here?
I was introduced to, well, Canada itself, but this track by a friend who rides at Woodbine Racetrack. He told me about this track, introduced me to Law Mitchell, and of course Pedro was riding here. I met him in Macau. I talked to him about it also. But the main point that I came to Canada was of my kids. They were born deaf and I had to come because of the school. And knowing of the racetrack, it worked out pretty good. And since I've been here, I can tell you I haven't regretted it at all. It's a good place for family life.
How about you, Andy?
Well, back home again in Barbados, I have my friend Patrick Husbands, who were with me for over a decade, and he decided he wanted to go to Canada and check it out and see how it was over there. And after a couple of years, he was very successful in his business, and he called me up and asked me, you know, if I would like to come and give it a shot, and I decided to. And judging from what he had achieved, I really told myself that this would be the land of opportunity, and I want to take a bite of it, you know, just a piece.
Pedro, you could have gone anywhere. What made you choose Canada?
Well, I have a little problem in the States.
I was trying to be nice. I was being polite. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, he actually can't go anywhere,
well,
Tommy.
I knew that.
Well, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, I knew
actually, Tommy.
And I got here because they don't let me in the States. I was in Macau, and I was supposed to fly to Mexico, and I was supposed to stop in Los Angeles, and they don't let me in the plane. So I got stuck here in Vancouver for a week. So I called Frank, but I know Frank before that.
Fuentes.
Frank Fuentes, yeah. And he asked me why don't you try here? I said, well, I don't know if they give me license or not, but let's go see. So we come in here to the office, and as soon as I walk in there, I know the guy who was doing the license. I know Lauren Mitchell very well, and I said, I know this guy. And he asked me right away, what you need? I said, I need a license. And he said, right away, he signed me up. And I was like that, and, you know, I thought I was gonna be riding in Mexico, losing like 10 pounds, and I was I was a little worried about that, but no, it was easy for me, and I really like it riding here now since you know. I got here, I really have a really good meet the first year. I have injured the first year, but since then it's been real good. Every meet I have a good meet.
Jake, you have ridden everywhere. What made you choose? You got a family too.
Yeah.
What made you choose here, Canada?
Well, my wife is from Canada. She's from Winnipeg. And we spent some...
Are you proud to say that?
Oh, yeah. No, I love Canada. What, that I'm married? Not
No.
really, but... I love it here.
What's your big day in the U.S.?
The 4th of July, actually, and it's a lot like Canada Day for the U.S. I mean, Canada and U.S. are so close together. You know, we have fireworks and stuff like that. I mean, it's basically exactly like Canada Day down there.
Pedro, what about you? You're from Mexico.
September the 20th. That's Independence Day too. I mean, in horse racing, I think it's February the 5th. It's like a cowboy day up there. It's big in racing.
Andy?
Yeah, our birthday in Barbados is 1966, the 3rd of November. And for there, we just have the police band and all that, just, you know, during the thing, and people drinking and eating on the streets.
What day's that?
Pardon me?
What day? What day did you say?
The 3rd of November.
3rd of November.
Yeah, 1966.
What about you?
August 26th.
Why are you laughing? Go ahead.
Anthony made that day up.
He made that date up. He
No,
has
no.
no idea what day.
Anyway, we had the file.
He has no idea. He just wanted
We
to sound
became
smart. So he made up a
independent.
date.
Independent, we have fireworks. I guess there are a lot of parties.
No, there's going to be fireworks now when they see this.
My parents don't see it. No. Just have like carnival, you know, people parading and all that thing, fireworks.
Would you guys like to make this home? And then I'm going to let you go.
It already is home for me. I have a house. I live here. I mean, it is home.
Same as me, yeah.
Well, I want to call it my second home one day soon, hopefully.
Well, I just bought a house, so it's definitely my home.
Hey, thanks, guys. Hope you have a good Canada weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I take my flag?
Yeah, you bet. Hey,
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings will be right back. Now to get you up to date with all the happenings in and around the track, let's saddle up with our own Carmen Thomas.
As summer begins, that means the return of Friday night racing. There will be 7 days of live racing on Friday nights for this year's meet, beginning this coming up Friday, July 7th. The starting post time is 6:55 p.m. and the first 1,000 customers to purchase a program will receive a free Hastings hat. Last year's Friday night racing was a blast with live music, great races, and even some local media on hand to celebrate the return of Friday night racing. So don't forget to come out this Friday night at 6:55 p.m. for the grand opening of this summer's evening racing. Last Sunday was the CTHS Sales Stake race for 3-year-old colts and geldings. This brought together stakes winners like Udaman and Sun Gold Wonder, the winner of last year's Jack Diamond Futurity. But anything can happen in a horse race. Let's go take a look at the CTHS Sales Stakes race for 3-year-old colts and geldings.
He's flat, an eighth of a mile to run, and they've duked it out from the start. Almost par on the inside, Arizona Drifter on the outside. Down the lane they come, almost par. Arizona Drifter now shaking loose Sun Gold Wonder, and here's Dixieland Jazz. It will be at the wire at tight finish. Dixieland Jazz almost par right together. Sun Gold Wonder.
Well, Brother Derek has just returned to Santa Anita after some well-deserved time off. He had a 4-week break after his back-to-back 4th place finishes in the Derby and the Preakness. Now he's getting ready for the $1 million Haskell Invitational Handicap on August 6th at Monmouth Park. Today is the $125,000 Lieutenant Governor's Stakes, which will feature some of the best older horses from across the country. This includes owner Ross McLeod's 2B Suave. 2B Suave comes from training in California, but will be trying his luck against a very contentious field.
How has 2B Suave been training and running?
Well, his last race, I believe he ran second at Hollywood Park in a stake, so yeah, it makes him pretty tough up here, and we're glad to have him, that's for sure.
And don't forget, this is a stakes-filled weekend of racing, which continues on Monday for the Canada Day long weekend. So come down and make your bets. And from the Marquee Tent, I'm Carmen Thomas, and now you're back on track.
Today in our Racing Across the Nation segment, this is where we take you across the country and showcase some of the top races that may be a major factor when it comes to you wagering on the Breeders' Cup in November at Churchill Downs, right here at Hastings Racecourse or at River Rock. First up, we're going to take you right east. We're going to stay right here in Canada. We're going to be looking at last week's $1 Million Queen's Plate, the granddaddy of all horse racing right here in this country. Let's go to Woodbine.
And they're inside the quarter pole. Edenwald and Sturwins. Who will blink first? Sturwins on the outside. To the inside, Edenwald. Now a cough has flattened out a bit, then Shoaley Slow. Edenwald on the inside is running the race of his life. They're in the final 16th of a mile. Edenwald and a Milram semi to win the 147th running of the Queen's Plate. Sturwins was second, a show photo between Malakoff and Ascot Bill.
Now, as we continue with our Racing Across the Nation, we're traveling south. We're going down to I-5, a long way down I-5. We're going to visit Southern California. We're going to be visiting Hollywood Park Racetrack. We're going to see if the millionaire filly, Moscow Burnett, can add to her earnings in the $150,000 Beverly Hills Handicap.
Stretch runners are looming, and they're coming now. Delicia and Moscow Burning are within 4 of the lead. 4 back to Memoret. Then comes Immortalite. Eternal Melody is still 15 from the front. Sissy's far back, and Live Life is running a monster race. She took all of that heat early, and at the quarter pole, she's going to be 3 in front. But now, stablemate Delicia is running after her in second. Moscow Burning and Memoret are within 5 of the lead. That's all for Sogol, and Live Life still has to get over a final furlong. She's 2 lengths in front of Delicia in second. Moscow Burning's at the rail. Memoret is within 3.5 of the lead, and Live Life still has 150 yards to get. Memoret in the center of the course. Moscow Burning between horses. Live Life, Memoret alongside. Here comes Memoret to run by and win. The 41st Beverly Hills Handicap goes to Memoret. Live Life ran entirely too good to lose. Moscow.
Now that we've showed you some of the races across the nation, let's give you a little update on what you can be watching and wager on right here at Hastings or at River Rock. There's the Cash Call Mile to be run at Hollywood Park, and also on July 1st there's Suburban Stakes run at Belmont Park, and here's a list of some other stake races once again you can wager on this weekend here at Hastings and at River Rock.
Hey racing fans, time now for Sport of Kings trivia, and here is today's trivia question. Hastings just celebrated birthday number 117. Do you know where the first Vancouver race was held? Well, the answer for you in a moment. Time now for the answer to today's trivia question. First ever horse race held in Vancouver was on Howe Street back in 1889.
Our race of the week today is the $50,000 CTHS Sales Stakes. It is for fillies who are born right here in this province. 6 horses, and they all have a chance. Let's go watch the BC Breds do what they do best, run.
Regal Roo is owned by Jim and Sandra Loseth and Peter and Susan Vieweg. Regal Roo is going a distance for the first time and adds Lasix for the journey.
She's still a maiden. She's got the rail though, and I think she liked the distance. She's been coming home pretty good, going 6.5. So we'll be hoping for a good honest pace and try and pick him off at the end.
Excited Miss is owned by LS Nordahl. Excited Miss has always hit the board and might like the added distance.
She's probably in the same spot everybody else is. First time going a mile on the 16th, and everybody's questioning if their horse will go that distance, and that's probably just she's going into the race really well. She's training really well. She actually going into this race better than her last.
Devil's Turn is owned by Ron Principe. Devil's Turn has been working well for her season debut.
She just likes to go to the front, and we'll see. So there's a little bit of speed in a ton of speed in the race, so we're just gonna work it out from there.
Ice Machine is owned by Bob Chima. Ice Machine is coming off an impressive win and has bullet work under her belt.
She's a speed horse, and there's no speed in here, so it gives her a pretty good chance to. I think she'll go the extra little distance, so we'll see what happens.
How were you able to determine if these horses, one like your own, will like a distance?
Well, you can pretty well tell in the mornings when they're training. She doesn't give up after a couple of rounds. She still wants to continue on, so I am quite certain she'll go the extra mileage. It's not much farther really. It's just a quarter of a mile farther. Isn't that much.
Dance with Strangers is owned by Double Down Stable and Thomas Bell. Dance with Strangers has early speed, and she'll need to carry it longer today.
Best thing she's got going for her probably is she's Dance with the Vixen's full sister. I think the filly definitely wants to go long, Tom. But we haven't had the opportunity yet. It's we had to go into this race without a prep or without being able to find out whether they do want to go long or not. But Felipe told me that he thought the filly was really going to like the added distance. Her sister broke her maiden in a stake race, which doesn't really mean anything here, but I think you're going to see she's a lot better horse going long.
Miss Me Not is owned by Crown Stable and Christmas Stable. Miss Me Not is the most accomplished filly in the field and rarely misses the board.
Really happy with her. Coming into the race good. Like, we had a few issues to start the year with her, but everything seems to be ironed out and we're ready to go.
And now, let's enjoy this competitive field of 3-year-old fillies going 1 mile and a 16th in the CTHS Sales Stake.
Here they go. Field of 6 3-year-old fillies sent on the way in the CTHS Sales Stakes. An ice machine has popped the gates and opened up a 2.5 quick advantage over Excited Miss. Then Dance with Strangers on the outside in third. Regal Rue, Miss Me Not, Yearly Trailer, Devil's Turn. They're on the turn and now they're catching up with Ice Machine. Ice Machine now by a neck. Excited Miss, second by 2. At the rail, Regal Rue in third. Dance with Strangers on the outside, fourth by 2. Miss Me Not in fifth, about 6 off the lead. The trailer, Devil's Turn, opening quarter 24 and 1. Under the line for the first time now, it's Ice Machine. Now again, sprinting clear by a length and a quarter. Excited Miss, second by 2.5. Moving up along the inside is Miss Me Not, then Regal Rue, Dance with Strangers, and Devil's Turn, the trailer. As they head to the half-mile marker, the half goes in 48 and 1. Now as they turn for the backstretch, it's Ice Machine showing the way by a tight length. Excited Miss, second by a length and a half. Miss Me Not, third, only 2.5 off the lead. 2 lengths back now, Regal Rue. 3 to Dance with Strangers, and the trailer, Devil's Turn. Past the 5/16 they go. 6 furlong, 1:13 and 2. And they have to come and catch Ice Machine. She leads it still now by 3/4 of a length. Excited Miss asks for a run in second. 3 back, Miss Me Not is third. 4 back, Regal Rue and Dance with Strangers. As they get set to turn for home with the new leader, it's Excited Miss, and she's drawn away by 3. Excited Miss, Ice Machine, Miss Me Not, and Dance with Strangers. The CTHS Sales Stakes goes with Excited Miss Me Not second, Ice Machine third.
Unusual race. Looked like you had it all by yourself there for a while.
Yeah, it set up kind of the way I thought it would. I thought Ice Girl would go up there. I thought if I just bided my time, you know, I was just hoping that I'd be able to outrun her down the lane, which is what happened, you know.
The jock in front was pretty chilly on his horse. Was there any concern that you weren't going to be able to get him?
No, I didn't think so. Once I had my horse relaxed a bit, I got her to finally relax, and she went along peacefully, nice. Every time I kind of give her a tap, I always feel that she had more. So I thought, you know, I knew I had some. So I thought if I was going to get beat, it was going to be because he was going to be able to run me, run away. But she had lots.
Obviously, you're thinking that, you know, it all turned out right, and you know, because it's basically a guessing game. They indicate that they can go along, but until they really do it, you don't really know. But she's a dedicated training filly. She trains hard every day, and that's been the biggest thing, is keeping her under wraps. And but yeah, I'm just totally impressed with her. And it just, especially after her first race, you know, not discouragement, but made a few adjustments, and like I said, she wasn't 100% going into that race.
Thanks on behalf of ourselves, for you, and also Leaf Noto, who we can't forget.
And my dad, because he picked her out, and he's passed away in November, so he's in all our thoughts today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings will be right back.
Hello, horsemen. Whether you're a breeder or prefer racing thoroughbreds, for all your insurance needs, call Equine Insurance Underwriters. Equine Insurance Underwriters, your industry professionals. Call us today. Equine Insurance Underwriters, serving horsemen everywhere since 1980.
Today in our Vancouver province, salute to the champions, which also happens to be a segment that continues to grow more and more in popularity with you out there. And today it's going to even get better. We're going to take you back to the year 1995. You're going to be looking at one of the best racehorses ever to have a saddle put on their back. We're talking about Cigar. Once again, this is the 1995. It is the Hollywood Gold Cup. In this race, you can actually watch Jerry Bailey basically just sit on the horse. In fact, you or I could have win on Cigar today. Let's enjoy the race.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read racing columnist Tommy Walski every Friday. The Province Sports and Tommy Walski. It all starts here.
Field sent on their way for the Hollywood Gold Cup. Concern bobbled a little coming out the gate. Urgent Request in the red cap is sprinting up to lead them. Delmar Dennis down at the rail, and Toss of the Coin on the outside gets up third. Cigar getting himself a perfect spot fourth. 3 lengths off this flying early pace. Tinner's Way is racing back in fifth. Best Pal, the veteran, dropping in back third last. Bloomin' Affairs second last. And Concern is going to try those back running tactics again today. Concern is last, 14 off the lead. They run to the 7/8 pole, and as expected, Gary Stevens has Urgent Request winging on the lead. Delmar Dennis, those tugging his way along second, and Toss of the Coin right there third. Cigar is moving fluently in fourth. He looks very solid here. He's 3 off them and fighting against Jerry Bailey to kick on with it. Then there's a gap of 6 back to Tinner's Way. Bloomin' Affair. Best Pal is a good 12 lengths off the leaders, and Concern starting to make up ground on his inside. They run to the half-mile pole, and Delmar Dennis now kicks on to lead. Toss of the Coin, Urgent Request in deep water at the rail. Cigar has had to be taken 4 wide. He's just too keen to go on, and Jerry Bailey still swinging on the outside, but Cigar's running powerfully. A gap of 5 to Tinner's Way. Concern is 8 off the leaders, then Blooming Affair, and Best Pal's got to come from last today. 3/8 to go, and Cigar can wait no more. Cigar kicks on the outside, takes the lead from Toss of the Coin. Delmar Dennis is battling. 5 back to Tinner's Way. Best Pal. Concern is also far back. 14 off them. A quarter of a mile to go, and it's going to take something totally unforeseen to see Cigar get beat. Jerry Bailey just looked back. He should have a huge smile on his face, because Cigar is striding through the stretch, moving like a winner. Tinner's Way now coming with a late run at him on the outside, but Cigar is all class, and Cigar wins the Hollywood Gold Cup. Tinner's Way, Toss of the Coin in a photo for second.
Incidentally, if you're wondering whatever happened to Cigar, Alan Paulson, his owner, tried to turn him into a stallion for lots of money. Unfortunately for Paulson and the horse, he proved to be infertile. He's now retired on the old Kentucky horse racing farm with a stablemate, or wasn't a stablemate, but close friend, John Henry. That's it for this week on the Sport of Kings. We want to thank you once again for joining us on this Saturday morning. Have to tell you this, today is probably one of the most contentious races you will ever see run here in British Columbia. It is the Lieutenant Governor's. This starts the weekend of great holiday racing here at Hastings, and you can also wager on these races at River Rock. Remember, keep them straight. You know what? We're going to get you on this hot in the final turn.
We're cooking with the blue. We're cooking, we're really cooking. I'm so hungry I could eat my shoes. You know we're cooking with the blue. Black-eyed peas are sure to